Hi friends, we are going to talk about the intercepted signs in KP cusp chart. We call it KP cusp chart, sometimes we call it KP chalit chart, sometimes we call it KP bhav chalit or simple the KP chalit or simple the bhav chalit. Now Shri Krishnamurti did not make use of the house division techniques from the Parashari system. The the house division system within Krishnamurti Paddhati is adopted from a Western method which was popularized by Placidus. So who was Placidus? He, he was a mathematics professor in Italy and in the year around 1600. And the Placidus did not invent this particular system, but he seems to have refined this system, the whole house division system, and now it's known as the Placidian system or the Placidius system. Now, in Western astrology, just like in the Parashari, there are several different type of house division system that are popular. But this particular, the Placidius is this is the most commonly used in the Western astrology. And in Krishnamurti Paddhati, Shri KSK has adopted this the whole Placidius system according to the Vedic astrology rules. Now, while casting the horoscope in KP software, you must have come across the KP Chalit chart where you find that certain numbers are missing or certain houses seems to have no numbers mentioned. Those are like kind of empty houses. So those are what is called as the intercepted sign. So here are two examples. One is the normal that you usually find where you will not see any number missing. So if you look at the Lagna chart, you have the Scorpio ascendant and then you have 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And in the KP, the KP cusp or the Bhav chart, you will find the same numbers 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. Right? But if you look at this, the second example, this one, there you find that in the Lagna chart, you have the numbers 9, 10, it's a Sagittarius ascendant, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, like this. And but if you look at the Bhav chart, the cusp chart, the KP cusp chart, then you realize that something is different. Especially if you look at the 6th and the 7th, you find that they have the same numbers. And similarly, if you look at the 12th and the ascendant, they also have the same number. So this is what is called as the intercepted sign. Intercepted signs mean a one sign that has been intercepted and that has vanished from the Bhav chart. And when one particular sign is missing, then 180 degrees apart, you will find this another set of similar numbers or the similar intercepted signs. Now the question is that does this have any special significance in the KP predictive side, the intercepted signs or the missing signs? No, do they have any special significance? That we are going to discuss in a while. But before that, let's just look at some of the ordinary stuff about the KP cusp chart. a lot of you who might be a beginners and have some confusion. So I'm going to quickly recap about the usual KP cusp chart. Now in Krishnamurti Paddhati, the predictive side is all done by looking at the KP Bhav chart. So first let's look at why these planets, the way they appear in the Lagna chart, do not appear in the same position in the Bhav chart. We'll just take one or two examples. It's very easy actually. So let's look at the cusp 1, which is also called as the ascendant. One of the things that you must make a note of is that in the Placidus cusp, the house span is not of 30 degrees. It could be less or it could be more. Now the ascendant, it starts from Scorpio, 8 degree, 46 minutes and 42 seconds. And it ends at Sagittarius, 9 degree, 9 minute and 45 second. You see this, I put the number second is shown over here. So don't get confused. The span of the ascendant starts from Scorpio, 8 degree, 46 minutes and ends at Sagittarius, 9 degree, 9 minutes. And similarly, the second house or the second cusp will start from Sagittarius 9 degree 9 minute and it will end in Capricorn, right? So I hope this is clear to you that what is meant by the span of a cusp. Okay, so the ascendant starts at Scorpio 8 degree 46 minutes 42 seconds and it ends at the Sagittarius 9 degree 9 minute 45 seconds. And immediately where it ends, the uh, the cusp of the next house starts. So where this particular thing is ending becomes the starting point of the second cusp. Right. So this is how the span is calculated within the Placidus system, and this is what is adopted in the Krishnamurti Paddhati. Now let's look at the position of Rahu, because we find that Rahu over here is appearing in the ascendant cusp, but here it is in the second house. So let's look at the degree of Rahu. Now when we look at the degree of Rahu, so we find that Rahu is in Sagittarius 1 degree and 40 minutes. Now if you look at the where this 1 degree 40 minutes will be when you are looking at this particular span of each of these cusps, then you know that this Rahu is going to be in the first house, right? Rahu is going to be here in the first house, because the ascendant starts from the Scorpio and ends in Sagittarius, 9 degrees, right? And Rahu is in Sagittarius 1 degree. So obviously it's going to be here, right? Here, between these two, the start and the end point. So that's why you find that Rahu in the cusp chart occupies the ascendant rather than the as shown in the Lagna chart. So I guess this is simple. Let's take another example. Let's take the sun, right? So sun you find over here. You see sun over here. It is in the 8th cusp. Whereas here, if you see, the sun is in the 9th. So why this is happening is that if you look at the 8th cusp, so 8th cusp starts from Gemini, right? 9 degree 9 minutes, and it ends. The span of the 8th cusp ends where, right? And now if you look at the degree of the sun, you find that sun is in Cancer 3 degree, right? So sun is going to be here. Sun is going to be here, right? So that's why you find that sun is in the 8th cusp over here. So this is how the planets are placed in the cusp chart, and now I hope you don't have any confusion over there. It's very simple. Once you start doing it manually, do it on a couple of horoscopes, and it will become very clear to you. Another question is that sometimes people say, okay, since this particular cusp has a Scorpio and it also has Sagittarius, so will the ascendant have the qualities of both the Scorpio and the Sagittarius? The answer is, the flat answer from Professor Krishnamurti is no. Everything that you have to know about the ascendant, you have to just focus on the starting, just the starting point. That's it. You are not concerned with the end point when it comes to the predictive interpretation. So if you want to interpret the let's say the character sketch of this person, then we are not going to mix up by saying that the Scorpio and Sagittarius both are going to influence the character sketch of this person. No, it's not like that. Only you have to just focus on the Scorpio. So the beginning or the starting degree of the cusp is uh, what usually or all the time it is attached to the all the qualities, character sketch, properties, attributes of that particular house or the cusp. Now let's look at these charts where you find the intercepted sign. You see the Gemini appears over here, Gemini appears over here, Sagittarius appears over here, and then Sagittarius also appears over here. This is what is called, so what is missing over here? The Cancer is missing and the Capricorn is missing. So these are called the intercepted signs. These signs have been intercepted, and that's why you find them missing. Now in some of the softwares, you will see that they don't put any numbers over there. They just show the empty or the blank houses. It's fine. I mean, just a matter of convention. But this is what is meant by the intercepted signs in the Placidus system, and that's why you find these numbers repeating in the KP cusp bhav or the KP cusp chart. Now let's take a look at the placement of the Jupiter. You see Jupiter over here is in the 7th house, but here it goes in the 6th cusp. So let's take the span of the 6th cusp. So the 6th cusp starts from here, right? This is just we are following the same example that we discussed in the previous slide, right? So 6th cusp starts from Gemini 2 degree 44 minutes, and then it will end at Gemini 27 degree 41 minutes, right? And now if you look at the degree of the Jupiter, so you find that this is Jupiter, right? This is Jupiter. So if you look at the Jupiter degree, then it is clear to you that Jupiter should be here between the start and end of the sixth cusp. We remove this. So the sixth cusp is, this is the sixth cusp. This is the span of the sixth cusp. And since Jupiter is in Gemini 11 degrees, which is going to be within this span, the span of the sixth cusp. For this reason, Jupiter is shown over here. I hope this is clear to you. Another thing you notice was that sixth cusp starts with Gemini 2 degree and ends in Gemini 27 degree. The same sign. Sixth cusp starts and ends in the same. And immediately the seventh cusp starts from the seventh cusp start from Gemini 27 degrees 41 second, which is the ending of this, right? And then it is going to end in the Leo. So this particular thing you have to keep in mind when you are trying to understand what is the intercepted cusp. So this particular, the seventh cusp span is from Gemini to Leo. So what is missing is the Cancer is missing. So you don't find the Cancer sign over here. Similarly, it's going to happen 180 degrees apart. So you find the Capricorn sign is also missing over here. Another thing is that, like I mentioned, in the Placidus cusp, the span of a cusp could be less than 30 degrees or could be greater than 30 degrees. But if you add everything, all the degrees of the cusp, then it's going to be 360 degrees, not going to exceed 360 degrees. But one particular one particular span of a cusp could be greater or less than the 30 degrees. So this is all about the mathematical side of the Placidus house system and how the planets are positioned in the KP cusp bhavata. Now another question that usually comes to our mind is that what happens when you have a horoscope with the intercepted sign. This particular horoscope that I have shown over here, this actually belongs to a person. So I know about that person. So here you see the sixth is ruled by Mercury and the seventh is also ruled by Mercury. So obviously one of the interpretation you might think is that the Mercury shows marriage and Mercury also shows denial of marriage because it is the significator of the sixth also, right? So this is what you will usually think. Similarly here, if you look, the Jupiter is the ascendant lord and also the 12th. So 1 and 12 combination tends to negate each other. But this is not the way you should be interpreting the intercepted cusp. You have to look at this the planet signification table. This is going to help you. So here you see the Mercury at column 1 indicates 6 and 7. So no doubt it indicates both the marriage and the denial of marriage. But the first column alone is not a very strong strength in Krishnamurti Paddhati. There has to be additional qualifiers or some additional strength that Mercury will have to require to actually prove that it is giving the result of the sixth and the seventh house. So that strength, how does that strength comes in Krishnamurti Paddhati? Two ways. One is that the star lord should also support the negative houses, and second is the Mercury has to be in its own star. Then it becomes a first hand significator. So here you see that the star lord and the sub lord both are more strongly inclined toward the positive marriage or matrimonial affair rather than the negative one. Second is that if you look at the Ketu, which is in the star of Mercury, look here, right? So this signification, the second column signification is the strongest in the Krishnamurti Paddhati. So here you see that the Ketu is very strongly signifying the sixth house. Ketu is a more strong significator of the sixth house compared to Mercury, because it is deposited in the star of Mercury. But if you look at the column 1 and then if you look at the column 3, then you find that this particular negation, sixth, is not getting any additional strength or not getting any qualifiers from the column 1 or the column 3. So you have to just focus on the planet signification and need not worry about the intercepted signs. On the internet you'll find many resources where the mixing of energy, dual energy, and those kind of things are mentioned about the intercepted sign. But within the Krishnamurti Paddhati, just treat it just like any other cusp and just focus on the planet signification. I have not seen any special significance when a person has an intercepted cusp. But if you know anything, then do share in the comment section. So that's all in this video. Thanks for watching.